Good morning and welcome to the Leveling Up podcast. My name is Carrie Paleo. I am your host and the Executive Director of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce. We're here today to talk about all things going on with the Chamber, and then I'll be joined by my special guest. We've got a few great things coming up. First off, our annual meeting will be held next month on Tuesday, April 5th. So we hope all of our members will join us. That's really the place where we come together, we talk about the benefits of what's going on with your Chamber membership, what we do on your behalf to better our community, and also the benefits that you're entitled to, ways that you can engage, get more invested, get more involved, and grow your business. So we certainly hope that you come out and join us for the annual meeting. At the end of this month, Thursday, March 31st, we have a special opportunity for the ladies. We have a networking tea. It's going to be at the compound on Thursday, March 31st. It is limited to just 20 participants, and we're already well over half full. I think we have maybe 5 spots left, so you want to get your registration in if you're interested in joining us for that. We do these networking leads opportunities for people to reach out to other organizations, really give them, you do a 3-minute pitch about your business, and then you exchange all of your contact information. So it's a really great way to meet new people in the community, learn about their business, and ways that you can work together and foster growth for your own business. So it's a really wonderful event. It's a tea held at the compound, and they're not doing teas right now. So this is the only way you're going to be able to get in there and do the tea, and it's at their new location at Baggs Square. So you're really going to want to join us for that. It's going to be a really, really fun event. And then coming up, a few things that we want to put on your radar. Coming out this week, we'll open registration for business after hours this month. It's going to be on Thursday, April 21st for April, and it's going to be at Pizza Boys. We've had such great attendance at business after hours, so if you're looking to, get out, network again, meet people, we really encourage you to go to those. They're such a great time. You get to explore a new business maybe you haven't been at, meet new people, meet members. So we're always look forward to those. They're such a good event. And then in May, we have our Catalyst Small Business Week, and that's where you as members can nominate a small business, somebody that you're passionate about, that wants a little bit of recognition. It is a national week, and our Catalyst group goes through all of the nominees and picks out 5 winners, and then they go to their businesses, kind of give you a walkthrough, so you really get to learn about some other places and really opens your eyes to what's happening in our community. Some favorites you may want to revisit or some new places you may not know about. And we also opened up our registration for our choo-choo. So the choo-choo's back again. It's going to be on Friday, August 19th. You're going to want to get your registration in for that. I think we already have 5 teams registered. So that's presented by Passlaqua & Associates this year. It's always a sellout. You take your train ride up to the Adirondacks, full day of golf, and then you take a train ride back. So it's scenic, it's fun, it's relaxing. There's opportunities to network. So, this is the premier golf tournament that you want to be a part of. So make sure that you get that date on your calendar and get registered because we will sell out. So those are just some of the things that I wanted to talk about that's happening at the Chamber. Make sure that you have all of those dates on your calendar. But let's see what we got in other news. So, speaking of news, my guest today, if you didn't get my little clue, is from the Sentinel. I've got Brad Waters here with me today, and we're going to talk about his Utica expansion. So welcome, Brad.
Thanks for having me, and I'm really excited about the choo-choo. I've heard big things.
Yeah, and you've got a secret golfer, so...
you might have somebody that might anchor our team a little bit, but we'll keep that a secret until the day comes.
Okay, sounds good, sounds good. So tell us about your Utica expansion. You're here, you're present with an actual physical location.
Yes, 421 Broad Street. We're hoping to get that office up by the end of the month. It's just we felt that was important to have a staple in the city to show that we're committed to the area. Again, we've been pushing that we're not trying to push Rome into Utica. We really want Utica to show that we have dedicated staff, dedicated office, and not only Utica, New Hartford, the surrounding areas, all the way to Herkimer County, as far north as Old Forge. So we felt the area really needs some more local content, and it's great to bring our family into the surrounding area.
Yeah, absolutely. So family, it's a family-owned business.
Family-owned business, 6 generations. Hoping to be the 6th generation owner soon. We became owners in 1864, which is it's been great to be able to sell that aspect to the also businesses, local family businesses around the area, and hope to carry on. I have another son on the way tomorrow morning. Hopefully, the 7th generation, along with another son, Bryce, who's almost 2. So it's just fun to be able to bring that family aspect to the area.
Yeah. So you're a media company, but it's business. So were you really more interested in the newspaper and the writing aspect, or the running of the business personally?
No, yeah. I think that's why my father and I worked very well together. He was always the writer and the IT person, and I was more the business operator and the advertising and circulation. So having our expertise run parallel made it possible to work together every day. You know, and obviously we live close to each other, so it's been a great. It keeps the family happy, it keeps the business happy, and having him be part of that has been great. But yeah, it's been great to be brought up and have this opportunity to expand the business just outside of print.
Yeah.
We really are trying to be the daily provider of local news, both in print and online, and having that allows people to take in the news however they want.
Yeah, so talk about the expansion a little bit
Sure.
in terms of what we're going to actually see in the paper with coverage.
Sure.
You know, I know you want to specifically target some certain areas and.
Yeah, we're still in the hiring process. Everybody's going through the hiring problems these days. But part of the office, we're hoping to have 7 to 8 staff located in the Utica area. We really want someone covering the school districts on a regular basis, the city on a regular basis, high school sports and local sports. And we need at least 4 or 5 reporters just to cover that. And also, we want to cover the town meetings as well. Those are all very, very important to the communities and need to be covered. So hopefully I have that amount of local staff, 5, 6 writers in the town, meeting out at chamber events. That's all part of the game.
Yeah. So, you know, newspapers could be considered a dying business, but you're expanding.
Yeah, it's nice to have our circulation growing. We're now close to 600 new subscribers in the past 2 months on this expansion. That's been great. We also are trying to get the funeral homes on board. So hopefully by the end of the month, we have a commitment from them saying that all the obits that are in the Utica OD will also be in the Sentinel.
Great.
It's a very important, that's a huge family event that we want to make sure people don't miss and people can pay their respects for. So we're working towards that. So everything that this is definitely scaling up, right? We want to make sure that the good local news we've covered for Rome in our area, we can bring that good coverage to the surrounding areas, and that will take time. So we're not going to push into an area until we know we can staff it correctly, which is why Herkimer is lagging a little bit, but we will be in Herkimer as well. So we want to make sure that every day you're reading 6 to 7 local pages of content, and that really should be an effort to go through all the news when you open up a paper or go online to us, and not to mention we have puzzles and all that stuff is absolutely important too. So we're really trying to offer a full 20 to 24 page paper full of local content because we can't compete against the AP and the Wall Street Journal. That's just not our bread and butter. We need local news.
Right, yeah, and you get that from other sources. So
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
And you guys have a really new, cool delivery model. So talk about how, with all these new subscribers, you're getting papers into their homes every day.
Sure. So in February, we switched to the U.S. Postal Service, which is a very similar model to what we ran because we still had carriers going door to door, and now we just use the USPS to go door to door. That was important for a couple reasons. One was the cost. We're competing against the Walmarts that are $17 an hour and everything. Everybody knows about the gas prices right now. We were concerned about them not becoming independent contractors and having to become employees. So what the USPS allowed us to do was, 1, keep our expenses down, but 2, allow us to expand our reach. With our previous carrier model, we only delivered to Rome and the surrounding areas, which was about 30,000 people that we could reach. With the USPS, we now changed that from 30,000 to 300,000 because we're now able to deliver all of Herkimer, all of Oneida, and all of Madison County. So as long as you live within those 3 counties, we can promise same-day delivery. And we're a little different at using the mail because we're actually delivering the paper at 4:30 in the morning to Rome and to the Utica Post Office. So it's not bouncing off Albany or Syracuse. It's not a traditional mail model, so that's why we're able to kind of bypass a lot of the headaches in the USPS. But we can deliver that same day delivery Tuesday through Saturday.
Yep. So you get the paper to the post office around 4:30. What time does that leave for printing and getting? What's the full
process,
full life of a newspaper? Give us the behind the scenes scoop.
We're trying to work on the deadlines, but we have to have all of our content up to Watertown, who is our printer for where we print, between 8 and 9 p.m. By then, it hits the press by about 10 p.m. It goes through the printing process and then all the inserts, so the Price Choppers, the Tops, Hannafords, Boscovs, all that stuff gets inserted. We try to depart Watertown by 1:30 a.m. And then that goes to, our one truck goes to Utica, post office, Rome post office, and back to our warehouse, so we can bring out our single copies, because we're at over 120 single copy locations throughout the 3 counties. Okay. So if you aren't a subscriber, you can stop by Stewart's, Fast Tracks, they all have them.
Okay, great. So news never really does stop.
No, it doesn't. It's a 24/7 cycle, but it's really not only about the news. We are trying to get the information out there. Chamber events being an example. Sports are a huge aspect that we're really trying to raise the bar on. Getting as many high schools and college sports in there. We have a ton of them between the 3 counties. So we're working on building our sports team. We've talked about a high school sports vertical. We're a website dedicated for high school sports and stats, because there's everybody loves the stats and competing against each other, and the great rivalries we have between the counties and different high schools. So that's an aspect where we're also trying to expand, not only in news, which happens every day and is everywhere, but all the other things that are happening around town. The bake shops, the sports is the all-encompassing goal of our delivery of news and information.
Yeah, and I think the paper is still important, because there's still something quintessential about small towns and cutting out your picture in the paper. Like that's still meaningful, and people want to see that and have that access, and not just digital.
Yeah,
printing something out doesn't feel the same. It's not that.
And we'll deliver it any way that our readers want. The readers will really dictate when they're done with their print, and that I still see that being 10 or 15 years away, especially as Zoom and all of our digital content rises, which we do deliver our digital edition and our online news by 5 a.m. and trickle it through the day. But coming home to a paper, stepping away from the screen, doing a Sudoku or a crossword is kind of refreshing, putting away the screens. And having some time to sit down and relax. I mean, people still read books. They still want time to step away. And that's why we want to deliver the difference between news, information, and entertainment in one package.
Absolutely. So, but there is still a space for digital. So tell us where you're expanding there.
Sure. We're expanding our digital teams. We're working on a new website launch because of the new area. We have to try to deliver the scope and all this local news into a very readable area. So we're at yoursentinel.com, romesentinel.com, and uticasentinel.com all point to a very similar part of our website right now, but we're trying to give the towns their own feel. Like I said before, we're not trying to push Rome into Utica. So we're on social media, on TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We hired a social media specialist. We're really trying to push into the digital environment, but we can't forget where we came from, which was the print and the legacy, because there's still, like I said, 600 new subscribers in print that still want to hold on to the paper. So this guiding between print and digital will go on for another 10, 15 years before it really goes away. But digital is absolutely a part of our growth and trying to get into the high schools and presenting them their own sports. When you can, before it used to be cutting out, now it's hashtagging and tagging students when you see them in the paper. So that's something that's going to be coming on board.
Yeah. So tell me, when you're doing the news, what are your favorite segments? Like, what in the paper is where you gravitate towards personally?
I spend a lot of time in the first 8 pages or 6 pages or so. There's so much local news, and it's so hard to keep up on everything, and especially being leaders of the community, it's really hard to, I'm trying to find the ads, making sure that I say hi and thank you for all those. We're trying to make sure we're not losing somebody on a press release or, spelling the Tony's name correctly. There's those things that we try to do every day. So the local aspect, when you're out in the community, you have to know what's going on. And if I know what's going on through my paper, I know that other people can as well. So if I'm asking a question, I almost want that question answered in my own paper. So it's kind of fun to have that little aspect.
Yeah. So you're going to be on Broad Street, and so you're in Utica more. What are some of your Utica favorites? Where's your to-go lunch spot? What are you enjoying being in Utica and being downtown and
I tell you,
Square?
being above Rick's Famous it could be a problem. Smelling the burgers cooked every day when I do visit that office. I've been spending, I think every day I either get a milkshake or a burger there. But it's nice having ocean blue and some of the time being by the Stanley. All this. I have a lot to learn still. I can take anybody through Rome and name almost every single company and restaurant. So I'm looking forward to meeting new people. I'm looking forward to having some new food experiences and just the culture differences is also part of that aspect. And we are looking into expanding our reach into those cultures, and while we're trying to find some leaders in the community that can help us broaden our scope, maybe we do some different languages. So there's a lot that is opening up in the opportunity. But again, we want to be careful on how fast we expand. We want to make sure
right.
we want to do everything as best we can.
Yeah. I really like that you're really thinking through and creating
Sure.
different models and businesses. So yesterday we were at the Mohawk Valley Edge meeting together, and somebody posed the question on how businesses can help you to grow and to keep local news local, because this is important for everybody as a resource to have a local paper.
Absolutely.
A local family-owned paper at that is so important. And so how do we keep you sustainable, and what would you like business owners to know about your organization? And
the best message I can say is news isn't free. Local news isn't free. It takes time and effort to dig and to find the facts, and so that's where the advertising and really comes into play for us, which is why we got hit really hard in the pandemic. 70% of our revenue does come from advertising, so that goes directly to reporter staff salaries and so. Advertising, we want to present a campaign that works for you and makes you want to come back to us, because that money is going directly towards local news coverage. And so whether it's a sponsorship or whether it's an advertising opportunity, we are looking at some nonprofit angles as well. So those are the different aspects that really support us and supports the news teams. And the more advertisers we get, the bigger we can carry a news team to cover the areas. So this isn't about padding salaries. This is about expanding our local news coverage.
yeah. And so if you're an organization who maybe has felt that they haven't gotten coverage in the in the past, what's the best way for them to connect with you and get their story told and their messages out there?
News at rnymedia.com is where we need the press releases to go to. At least putting it on our radar is a huge opportunity. One, we'll probably follow up we really want quotes from owners and operators. And advertising at rnymedia.com will be going to our ad team and how we can build campaigns both in digital, social media, and in print. And then anytime we have an open door policy at my office, so bwaters, WATERS at rnymedia.com is my email, and always looking to meet new owners and subscribers in the area.
Yeah. What do you think are the top 3 news stories that should be on everybody's radar?
You mean like what's going on now, or just
in the coming future, or this week, this month?
Yeah, I think what's going on in SUNY Poly is probably number 1 on the list right now. You were at the Edge talking with Tony Pacini, and I think we have editorials coming out where we're meeting with them this afternoon to talk more about what we can do for the area. But keeping SUNY Poly here we're going to have more and more stories coming out. I really hope our readers and our town really can dive in, and we're going to do our best to present that. That's probably at the top.
And just for the listeners who weren't at the meeting yesterday, SUNY Poly isn't leaving, but they're looking at taking away one of the schools that forms the Nano School. So we just want to make sure that people, we're presenting that correctly, because we kind of had a backstory yesterday. So we want to make sure all of our listeners.
Thank you for clarifying it. That's important. The other thing to look for is our sports coverage. So we got a hard hitter and then something a little bit softer, but we really do try to get as many high school sports in there and community sports in there. And sports at rnymedia.com, if you have anything going on, if it's a community game or a high school game or coaches at a lower level, if we can at least get the information, even a score or a photo, we're going to do everything we can to get that onto the website. So that's kind of a cool aspect to have corporate in Rome, New York, and have us accessible as we are, because we really want people to be able to talk to a person. And also, like you said, when kids can cut out their their photo and put it up on the fridge. That still happens. I still have clippings back in the day when I was doing it, and there's something about that that's nice to look back on in the future.
Yeah, I still have a paper from when I was in high school. It was 3 different things, but my picture was in the paper, the same one paper for 3 different events. And my parents were mortified. They were like, why do you have to be on every page? I'm like, they were all different events. I just happened to be there, but.
I know. Well, there's got to be some sort of
Still
competition.
memorable, right?
Yeah, absolutely,
Still memorable.
absolutely. And you got to be in some sort of competition with Bill and Wes and all those in the chamber photos. I mean, we try to get photos in there all the time, but we really try to get as many faces into the paper because that's going to draw people in and to share it with their parents, their grandparents, their families. So that's local's everything. Without local news, we don't have a future.
Right.
And that's why we are investing more and more into local stuff.
So we got the SUNY story, we got sports. What's the last on your list to people to be aware of?
I do try to challenge the, again, kind of working through the paper. I do enjoy our comics and the challenges of working the brain a little bit on some of the puzzles. Yeah. We do try to offer as much as we can within our footprint, and between the hard-hitting news, the sports and features that we do, and then obviously the comics and
people still want their TV guide in there, right?
TV guide is in there. We tried removing it once. It was our call center and everybody was packed full of calls saying to put it back. So we do have we are updating that as well to include the Herkimer, Utica, and Rome markets. So we'll have a TV guide in there, and then our sports agate is also followed very closely, and people let us know if we missed something. So it's great to have that though. That just shows that people are reading our newspaper cover to cover.
And it also shows that they're responsive to the listeners. So we've got some things, people writing in. Let me see if we can read that. Mr. Waters, hello from the Boy Scouts of America. Truly appreciate all of your team's great coverage of scouting across the Mohawk Valley in Central New York. Congratulations on your growth. And then Joe says it's such a great male model, so people are enjoying that. Mm-hmm. And Sophia, very insightful. It's awesome to hear you have such clear goals for growth within the space. Can't wait to see more promotionals of local and small businesses in the daily news. Mm-hmm. So people are out there and appreciative of your product.
Yeah.
And so I think that's, a testament to your family that you've been in business for this long. And really, you just told a story of you actually listened to your customers on something as small as a TV guide.
Yes.
So that really shows, if you're a customer of theirs, reach out. They're very responsive in listening to their audience.
Every phone call, I have my CSR, my customer service reps write down anything that we can do better or comments that come in, and we review those all the time. So please call our office at 315-337-4000 or any of our social media where we are listening. We are trying to tweak. We're learning as well. News happens fast. We try to get as much up there as we can. And so having that community feedback is greatly appreciated, and we really do try to adapt as fast as we can.
Yeah, well, we are looking forward to your ribbon cutting of when your business is going to be open at the end of April. So if you're not on our chamber email list, make sure you get on that. Our website is greateruticachamber.org. There's a pop-up. You can fill out your email address and get in on everything that we're doing and what's happening with our members, like the Sentinel Media Company. Yeah. So. Anything else that we haven't covered or that I missed besides the fact, I know you alluded to it, but we have to offer our congratulations to you on your new addition. Not only are you expanding your business, you're expanding your family, so much going on in your life right now.
Yeah, tomorrow at 10 o'clock, second one on the way. No, I think it's just we really want to do better with our community outreach. We're going to be opening up more channels of how to communicate, and even directly with me. Because we are our local and family, that's our biggest selling point, and having access to our company and the Waters family is something we want to extend, not only from Rome for the past 160 years, but the greater Utica area as well. So. Yeah.
Well, we're so excited to have you. We are also so excited to have all of our members who help sponsor the podcast and everything we do. Thank you to our episode sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Delta Hotels by Marriott, EJA Moving Company, and Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield. And we also have to thank all of our platinum sponsors who support everything we do at the chamber level: the Kelberman Center, Master Vita Hyundai, MVHS, Parliament Nightclub, and Staffworks. Thank you so much. We will be back again in a couple of weeks. We're going to take a little hiatus because our next scheduled podcast happens to be the State of the County address. So we'll be back in a couple more weeks. Watch for all of our news on our social channels and our website. We look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care and stay kind, Utica.